All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wa Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you true, sincere brethren out there, pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked, defiled kingdom with this word, and to the rest of the church who believe as well. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. So here's an article, and the headline of it reads, "Uh-oh. Food stamp money will run out by the end of January if the government shutdown lasts that long," by Michael Snyder, and it came out December 26th of 2018. Okay, well, today's date, pull up my calendar here. Today's date is January 4th of 2019, and the government shutdown is still here. So let's get into this article, okay? I may read all of it, I may not. We'll see. According to the Department of Agriculture, if this government shutdown stretches into February, there won't be money for food stamps. And it clearly looks like this shutdown could last for quite a while, because President Trump is not backing down on his demand for border wall funding, and the Democrats have pledged not to give him a single penny. So a few weeks from now, approximately 38 million people could be suddenly cut off from the food stamp program. If that scenario were to unfold, there is no telling what could happen after just a few days. Government workers are already freaking out about having their paychecks delayed. If people are getting this restless already, what will things look like when tens of millions of Americans are suddenly cut off from their primary source of food money? And you know who that's going to really affect: Israelites. But even more so, Israelite women. Okay? It's going to affect a lot of women in general, because you have a lot of Edomite women on food stamps as well. So the time may come, by the end of February, where the money for food stamps could be totally cut off. And the 38 million people who are on food stamps or under the food stamp program, they'll be suffering because they've been so dependent on their food stamps to all of a sudden not have it anymore. That is going to cause a lot of chaos. Okay? I was watching a video on the Advice show, and there was a woman who had went to this hair salon. And the guy behind the counter, of course, he was a Chinese or a Japanese. I believe Chinese. He was a Chinese man. So he was a Moabite. Long story short, the little boy, the son of the woman, had took something that he shouldn't have took. So the mother, as she was going out the door, took it from him and throws it back into the store. So at the end of the situation, the Moabite ends up punching the woman in the mouth just to get to the point. So you have these nigga woman, these nigga woman lovers, these simps, these simpletons, who literally went on strike for these women by going on strike for this woman. And you had an Israelite woman coming against them for standing up for them. It actually caused that Moabite man to bring more business to his shop. So you had a bunch of Israelite women, I don't know how many days later, lined up at this guy's shop, the same guy who had busted a nigga woman in her lip. Okay? And when I looked at it at first glance, I thought she had a cold sore. I was like, dang, this woman all jacked up. But it came down the pipe that, he had punched her in the face. And these women could not see themselves not going back to the hair salon, because they depend on these hair salons. So, including these food stamps. Women can't go without their food stamps for a lot of women who are on them. So it is really going to affect them if this comes out the pipe this way. So let's read forward. Even though the government has been shut down, the Department of Agriculture still has some existing financial resources at their disposal, and they are assuring us that those enrolled in the food stamp program will still receive their benefits for January. The following comes from CNN. Eligible households will still receive monthly SNAP benefits for January, but other domestic, which I think when you go into the word domestic, it pretty much goes into home-related things. But other domestic nutrition assistance programs such as the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, WIC, and the Food Distribution Program on Indian reservations will only be operational based on available resources, which means that can be cut off eventually. Okay? Because you can only have so many resources before they end up running out in a time like that. Additional federal funds and commodities will not be provided during the shutdown. So that shows you a lot of Israelite women are going to be affected, and that includes you Northern Kingdom women of the Indian tribes. It says here, even those on the reservation will only be operational based on available resources. So if there's no resources, there ain't no availability. Child nutrition programs, including school lunch, school breakfast, child and adult care feeding, summer food service, and special milk will continue through February. The mainstream media is blaming this shutdown entirely on President Trump, and that gives the Democrats a tremendous amount of leverage. The longer this shutdown lasts, the more painful it will become for ordinary Americans. And once food stamp funds run out, of the pressure on President Trump to surrender will be immense. And a government shutdown usually affects between 1 out of every 15 to 20 people, I believe. Or 1 out of every 20 to 30 people. Something along those lines. Where was I at? Will Trump be able to keep going once tens of millions of Americans are yelling and screaming about their food stamp benefits cut off? For now, the Department of Agriculture will attempt to keep things going for as long as possible using existing resources. But those existing resources will not last very long. I just said that. So those on the reservations who have certain resources will eventually, it will have to come to an end. It's not going to last very long. So eventually, many people who are on these programs are going to be affected in a very bad way if this government shutdown prolongs. And it's a very good possibility because President Trump has already mentioned that he's willing to keep the government shutdown going as long as it takes for that wall to get built, for him to receive that money for that wall. Okay? Which I think is $1 billion. During a lapse in government funding, we will be providing as many of our core services as we can using existing resources. We're keeping up our duty to do right and feed everyone, as Secretary Sony says. Let's jump down some more. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, really, In fact, let me just pull out some scriptures. Let's just get to some scriptures. All right. Let's go to Psalms. (146:3). Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. So you shouldn't be putting your trust in princes. Princes today could be men like your president. You had a lot of our people who actually trusted in Donald Trump. And when I say our people, I'm speaking more so of you Negroes. And you still had certain Latinos. You didn't just have Moreno. You had a bunch of Latinos and Latinas really coming together to exalt Trump as if Trump is going to be their help. putting your trust in a man who is nothing more than a child of the oppressor. Why? Because he's the oppressor. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. So you shouldn't put your faith in man. Here it is, President Trump. He's putting a lot of you Israelites, especially you women, in a predicament. Because you've been depending on certain things for so long, then they're going to be cut off. So what are you going to do on that day? Because a lot of you women have found out you're not really fit for the working world. You would rather be stay-at-home moms. A lot of you are coming to the conclusion of, I would rather be at home than to keep coming to this deadbeat job. But all this comes from putting your trust in man, more so the so-called white man. Okay? And he is not going to help you. So you have to understand that the so-called white man is not worried about you Israelites. Trump's mind frame is, look, I don't give a damn who this affects. That wall is going to get built. Even though Babylon, aka America, aka Egypt, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka Rome, aka the list goes on, man. Here in this place of oppression, you so-called Latinos are starting to finally see that this white man doesn't give a damn about you. Okay? He's not going to give you no damn to pass over any kind of water because he don't give a damn. Alright? So you have to put your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and stop putting your faith in this goddamn system. Matter of fact, let me read this one more time before I jump forward. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. So you better stop trusting in this damn white man. Alright? But you know what? I hope he cuts off them food stamps, though. I really want him to keep this government shutdown going, because that would be a beautiful thing to see a lot of our women be cut off from a lot of their ease that they're in right now. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses. And a lot of our people, they go down to Egypt for help. They go to whoever is in charge in Babylon to help them. Whether it be for food stamps, whether it be for WIC, whether it be for child support, whether it be calling 911 because you got in your husband's face and he put you in your place and you deserved it, and then you play the victim and call the cops. Okay? Whether it be leaving your Israelite man for the devil or another heathen because you see that your man is suffering, so you figure, hell, I'm sick and tired of this nigga. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots. So woe unto you, or destruction, death, curses unto you who go down to America for help and you trust in American power. You think America's going to save you during the time of World War III, seeing how the American military has been weakened. And there's been articles on that. Exactly expressing how America should not have the audacity to do or say certain things that it's saying and to not have a proper military. And you don't think other nations read these articles? What do you think that does for the enemy when they hear that their enemy is weakened? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And that's why the Lord may be possibly cutting off food stamps, okay, by the end of February. Very possible. All Trump has to do is allow this government shutdown to prolong. Verse 32. Yet also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. And the help of them that work iniquity are you 2/3 who help the so-called white man in his wickedness. You further his agenda. You keep on showing the white man that we are definitely the Israelites because you act like a bunch of niggas. And when you look in the scriptures, it tells you how Israel would be took away from their identity. They would become a byword. You'd be looked upon as nothing. But a lot of our people, they don't care to turn back or repent. They just help Esau in his wickedness because why? They are of their father the devil. So they're spiritual Edomites. Really 2/3 are actual Edomites through the spirit, man. Alright? And the Lord is going to treat them as such. So when these food stamps get cut off, it's going to be a very beautiful thing. Now the Egyptians are men and not God. And the so-called white man thinks he's a God, and he fools a lot of you Israelites into thinking you can trust him. And their horse is flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand. Excuse me, I'm going to go get some water right quick. Give me a second. Alright, my apologies. Now this is Isaiah 31:3. Now the Egyptians are man and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall or fail together. Excuse me. So you 2/3, you're going to fall with the so-called white man. You 2/3, you're going to fall with America because you put so much trust and hope in this place. America's finally showing you that at any time we can take away your goodies because you're nothing more than a good slave. You're nothing more than cattle. Okay? And you look at the so-called white man like he's the most high. Let's go to Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall. So these goodies, they're going to be took from you out of nowhere. Okay? Imagine having a ceiling and the ceiling is weak. And on top of that ceiling, you have a huge brick that's ready to cave in as soon as that building collapses. And it just falls out of nowhere. And it lands right on top of your head. Well, that's how it's going to be when these things start to happen. You Israelites are going to assume nothing's going to happen. Then all of a sudden, boom. The breach falls on you. It just collapses. Let's go into that word breach. A break, literally or figuratively. Breach, breaking forth. Breach, gap, bursting forth. Bursting forth, outburst. Breach, broken wall. Outburst, figuratively of God's wrath. So pretty much it goes into the word breaking. So, like I said, imagine a ceiling ready to collapse, ready to fall down. And not only fall down, but fall down upon you. Okay? It doesn't happen by giving you a heads up. It's not going to say, psst, psst, hey, look out, man. I'm about to collapse. I don't want to fall on you. No, it just falls. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Okay, and these food stamps look like they could be cut off suddenly at an instant, real soon. And not just soon as in by the end of this year, soon as in this can happen within the next couple of months. Okay? That's how close reality is from you people out there. More so you Israelite women. Okay? And you have a lot of our people who pretty much put their trust in this society, the same society that is oppressing you. Okay? This oppressive ass society. And our people don't even care about the truth, man, whatsoever. Isaiah 30:9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, that they will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Don't prophesy to us that these food stamps can be cut off. I don't want to hear that. Don't prophesy to us that WIC could be cut off. Don't prophesy to us that America could possibly come to an end. Don't prophesy unto us that money's going to be cut off. Don't prophesy unto us that we are the children of Israel. You're messing up my life in the corporate world, man. You're making my life hard. You taking us back 1,000 years, brother. That's how our people are, because they're rebellious. They don't want to hear this truth, man. They reject it. They deny it. They don't want to believe it. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah 32. And verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. See, right now you have it easy. You can live off the government. You can live off a man. You can just sit on your ass with a sink full of dishes. Raheem in the back room crying with a crappy diaper that hasn't been changed in over 18 hours. Okay? Watching I don't even know what shows is on TV no more. I watch more Hulu and Netflix and YouTube than anything. But whatever female shows are out there, you know, love and hip hop type shows, whatever. And just, you know, watching the days go by doing absolutely nothing. Going out to the club, getting yourself all dolled up, okay? Getting involved in your contouring, because you're nothing more than a con. You con people with your contouring. Get your bills paid, not because of you working hard, because you women want it to work. You want it to be in the working world. And a lot of you women, yeah, you're independent. You don't need a man. You may not be on food stamps, whatever. But you're going to be brought down as well. And you can just see the so-called black woman. Nigga, please. Because you know, black women, they're proud, man. The so-called black woman is proud. She's the most prideful woman on earth. And that's how you know Isaiah was speaking of them when it went into them curses, because the northern kingdom women, they were already sent off into slavery. Okay? Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. And you're hearing the Lord speak through his men. Okay? You're not going to be at the strip club and then the Lord appears to you. Okay? You're not going to be at work, whether it be, what kind of jobs do women do? Some nursing job, and the Lord just comes up to you and says, listen to my voice, you careless one. No, he's speaking to you through his men. Okay? And you're careless. You don't want to listen. You just look at his men as normal ass people. They don't mean nothing. They just niggas. Okay? I love the white woman so much. I want her hair. I'm sick of these niggas. When I think of a nigga, I think of a drug dealer. When I think of the so-called white man, I think of Superman. And he's the one to pretty much beat up the villain, put the villain down. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. And that's what it's coming to. Okay? You're starting to see the beginning of your trouble, because your food stamps are about to be cut off. And you can look in statistics. Most of those food stamps are given to women. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the vintage failing. And soon the gathering's not going to come. Okay? You're not going to have a fridge full of food because of your food stamps here pretty soon. You're not going to be able to have a newborn, and instead of breastfeeding, you taking your ass to whatever grocery store and getting that fake breast milk, okay, that powdered milk, and you put it in the bottle, mix it with some defiled ass water, shake it up, give it to your child, don't even have to spend no money on it. And it's funny because a lot of women who are on Section 8 and things like that, Esau has it to where he doesn't want them making so much money, because if they made so much money, all that would be cut off. So Esau tries to keep you broke to where you have to depend on him and make him your sugar daddy. But the time's coming where the vintage is failing, and all that stuff that you've been gathering is going to come to a cease as well. All right? And there will be a time where a lot of men who you wicked ass women have done wrongfully, they're going to look for you and hunt for your life. Esau as well, the one you love so much, he's going to hunt for your life. But I'm going to close this lesson out right here. You know, the time's coming where this easy life that you women live is going to be cut off at an instant. It's going to happen suddenly and without warning. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Shalom.